And so our goal at the Pre-Med Consultants is to get you to do the high yield study tactics that are really going to help you work with the material, improve your ability to do well on the MCAT exam. And then when you need to review a topic, you can go right into the MCAT Powerbook. Hey everyone, in this video, I wanted to talk to you about the MCAT Powerbook, why we wrote it at the Pre-Med Consultants, and how it could help you through both your pre-med prereqs and the MCAT test prep process. So essentially what we did with the MCAT Powerbook is we wanted to compile the most high yield resource, which would be a quick review for all the information that you need on the MCAT. So this is not the source to learn general chemistry or organic chemistry for the first time ever. In reality, you should take most of the prereqs and do well in your classes before prepping for the MCAT. And that's where you're going to first learn the information. However, what I've seen for many pre-med students that are studying for the MCAT is they will get a ton of different textbooks and they'll almost try to reteach themselves what they've already spent months in classes doing, and reteach themselves all the orgo, all the gen chem, all the bio. And a lot of it you already know and is a waste of time. And usually you end up studying it ineffectively because instead of doing practice questions early on and really just focusing in on your weak areas, you will feel like you need to read from page 1 to page 500 of every single textbook.
Damn it, again?
And in general, that wastes probably 2 to 3 months for most students studying is what I've seen. Most students will study like all the textbooks over the summer, and then they will finally enroll in a class. Then they'll be doing more reading assignments. And then finally, towards like the last 6 to 8 weeks that they're studying, they actually do practice exams and review those exams. And that's where they see their real improvement in their score. And so our goal at the Pre-Med Consultants is to get you to do the high yield study tactics that are really going to help you work with the material, improve your ability to do well on the MCAT exam. And then when you need to review a topic, you can go right into the MCAT Powerbook. Let's say, for example, you want to review intracellular junctions. Well, right here, we have the high yield review points that you need to know on this topic. And so the goal, again, is to have you doing the really important things for studying and for a big test like this, which is going to be doing practice questions early on. So all of our students will use the UWorld question bank, and they start from the very beginning of their prep doing questions, even if they feel like they haven't studied all the material. Remember, you should be studying for the MCAT after taking many of the pre-med prereqs. Do you have to take all of them? Not necessarily, but you should have taken at least a good majority, in which case you don't need to go and relearn all the information before diving into MCAT style questions. A lot of students don't spend enough time in MCAT style questions before actually taking the MCAT, and that is where your score is going to improve the most. So doing UWorld from the very beginning, then we give all our students, and you can actually get it on our website, the link will be below this video, a Anki Deck with over 3,100 high yield flashcards that go with all the facts that are in this book, and you could be doing it from the very beginning. So every time, let's say you do a practice question and don't get it right, and you realize there's content you need to know, you can come into this book or watch a video on it and see, okay, now I understand acids and bases better. I'm going to unsuspend the acid and base Anki cards from our Anki Deck, and I'm going to start doing those cards. And the goal is to do spaced repetition. So not only do you see that one time, but you're going to see it many, many times before the exam. And the way Anki works is that it shows you that information at the most likely time you're going to forget it. And if you remember it, then it'll push it farther and farther into your reviews and ultimately into your long-term memory. So let's say you get a flashcard right on acid bases today, then you might not see it for a couple of days. Let's say in 3 days you get it right again, then you don't see it for a week, and after you get it right in a week, it'll be pushed to 2 weeks, then a month, and so forth. And if you get it wrong, you're going to see that card more frequently. So between the questions, the Anki cards, then doing a quick high yield review using this book, right? Again, we basically went through all the AMC listed topics from the AMC content guide, and that's how we compiled this book. So it will really cover everything you need to know.
That's how it's done.
Again, it's not going to teach you the material like you're reading paragraphs on it. But for most of you, I generally like learning from videos better. And there's tons of great YouTube videos out there. If you're a TPC student, you already have access to all of our content videos, and there's Khan Academy videos, which you can watch. So that's where I would get represented to the information, and then do your Anki cards, read the book. And that is really the goal of this book. We also do talk a little bit about study strategies, especially when it comes to study strategies and test taking strategies, especially like the CARS section. Pretty short in this book. book because we just want to show you how to approach cars. But other than that, you're going to have a good review of all the information that you need to have memorized for the MCAT, all the different formulas. If you go to the back of the book, actually, let's see, you can see we have formulas, sheets for everything. Everything you have to memorize, again, is here. So that was the purpose of writing this book. For most medical students, when they're studying for their board exams, they use UWorld, a set of videos. A lot of students use Anki or some form of spaced repetition. And then there's one book that has all the information that you need to know for the step 1 exam, the step 2 exam. And again, it's just a high yield review similar to this. So we didn't see that in the MCAT space. We decided we were going to create that. And that's where the MCAT Powerbook comes into play. So if you're interested in getting a copy, you can click the link below this video. We also, to hopefully help even more students and make it an even more beneficial resource, we will include the Anki cards when you make your purchase. And we will also include an MCAT Kickstarter course, which goes over exactly how to properly approach MCAT studying, similar to the things that I said today, but goes a little bit more in depth into each of those topics and will give you good strategy for approaching studying for this exam. And so the Anki Deck is actually in the Kickstarter course. A lot of people ask about that. So if that's something you're interested in, buy the book, get those bonuses, and we look forward to crushing the MCAT.